Hi, I'm Ambar, and this is Ambar in real life. This podcast is my space to share the journey of becoming. Through honest reflections, personal stories, and conversations with people in my life who have shaped who I am. From health and self worth to love, career, and everything in between, I'm here to speak what's true and sometimes comment on some of my posts that I've written on my blog, Ambar Virtual. If you are on your own path of growth and craving real connection, welcome. You are not alone. Hi, and welcome to Ambar in Real Life, the podcast where we explore personal growth, emotional clarity, and what it really means to live life with love, intention, and perspective. I'm your host, Ambar, and today I want to talk about something that can feel overwhelming for many people. And it certainly felt very overwhelming for me, but it's also one of the most empowering choices that we can make for ourselves and our lives. And that is starting your personal development journey. This video is not about quick fixes or becoming a perfect version of yourself overnight. It's more about learning how to show up for yourself with love, with faith, with compassion, even when life feels messy, uncertain, or completely upside down. Because as you all know, sometimes life gets so hard that the thought of doing something different, of breaking the cycle, feels impossible. Like we are stuck in these same old patterns that we already know that don't work, but we keep going because they're familiar. But the thing is that if we really want to see a real change in our lives, we have to start by making an honest and real compromise with ourselves and with the future that we want, with the future us that we want to become. And this is not a New Year's resolution type of thing. It's also not a Monday, I'll start fresh kind of thing. This is an agreement that says that we are worth the effort it takes to change. For me, that moment came after my almost 6 year long relationship ended because it was abrupt and weird. Deep inside, I knew that the breakup was coming, but I was still not prepared for it to actually happen. And all of a sudden, I had to adjust to a new life I hadn't asked for. I had to find a new place to live. I had to adjust my finances because I was sharing all of these expenses with my partner. I have to fight my insecurities for all the things that were happening and all of the doubts and the questions that I had. So imagine doing all of that while also dealing with the emotions that come from a broken heart. And after many months of me trying to figure out how to move on and reorganize my entire life again, well, things were not happening as I expected. And I fell into a very deep depression. So, on the outside, I was okay. I was showing to the world that I was okay. And I kind of was. People couldn't tell that something bad had happened or something had changed unless I told them. But on the inside, I was a complete mess. And my first instinct was to distract myself from the pain, from all of the emotions that I was dealing with. I was trying to fight this depression, but not by facing it, but trying to shove it down under the carpet. So it was a very strange moment of my life, to be honest, because I've never felt that lost before. And it took me a while to know what to do. So I just surrounded myself with people. I just continued working and staying late in the office, trying to mute all of these feelings that I was having. I could talk with some people, some of my dearest friends, but it was not the same because they couldn't fix anything. They couldn't do anything. And I knew it was something that had to come from me, but I didn't know what to do. So eventually, when a friend of mine talked to me about a therapist that she was seeing, someone from her family, I was interested because she was not only a therapist, she was a Reiki master. So I believe in these holistic approaches, not exactly in conventional therapy, because I've never gained anything from just remembering my past and finding who to blame or what situation to blame about the things that are happening now. So I was really not interested in that. So holistic approaches like affirmations, neurolinguistical programming also, that's something that I tried. I mean, I was more interested in that because that way I could learn about myself and what made me be me, you know? So breath work, it's something that I found very healing. The same with acupuncture and visualizations and all of these. So every week that I went to therapy, I really felt that I was actually seeing the gaps between where I was and where I wanted to be. And when you start to recognize patterns, friendships that are actually toxic or they're not good for you, or habits that doesn't align or that didn't align with my values and who I wanted to be, and all of these ways of thinking, language that I was using. When I started to recognize all of that, I really felt that I was actually doing something. And replacing those patterns wasn't easy. Wow. It was one of the hardest things that I have ever done in my life, to be honest. It felt very hard to have to leave friendships behind that I really thought were real. But later on, I discovered that they were not. I also changed all of this screen time, lost screen time from the TV and watching movies and series just to distract myself, to reading books, to listening to podcasts, to exercising more intentionally, and actually creating this connection with nature. And all of these walkings that I did around the city, around parks, and all of that really helped me get back to myself and my core. For me, this meant that I was swapping all of these noises for stillness. And I discovered that stillness is so loud. Stillness is so loud, like you have no idea. Because when you're not used to it, it feels overwhelming. And that's what happened. But I knew that that was part of the process. So for me, it took like a year, over a year, for me to start feeling like the version of myself that I was aiming for. And it was during that time that I started Amber Virtual. I know that I've always learned best when I write things down and when I share them. So each time I was reading all of these books and learning about myself and my unique skills and the things that make me me, like my personality type and the things that actually give me more joy instead of frustrations, and what are the things that I feel more comfortable doing, all of these things. In that time, I started writing more. After reading all of those books, I will write down a lot of notes. I will write down my ideas and thoughts. And yeah, I think that putting my thoughts into words somehow kept me accountable, because it was my way of saying to myself, I'm not going to abandon myself this time. I'm going to stay and I'm going to fight for who I want to be. And then something beautiful happened, because sharing my journey, even though if it was for an audience of 10 people, somehow that gave me strength. Because when you tell someone that you can get through this, you're strong enough, I trust you, I know that you can, somehow you're telling yourself the same. You're also saying those words to yourself. And when you say those things more often, you start to believe them, So I think that, like, looking back now to my journey all these years ago, I can see that there were a few key decisions that I made that really made all the difference in my healing journey. They were not complicated at all. I think they are just overlooked by many of us, but they really were turning points that kept me moving forward when at many times it would have been so much easier to just give up. So I know that if I ever find myself in a mental health kind of crisis, there are three things that I'm going to share with you that I will do without hesitation to get myself back on track. The number one thing I will do is find someone to talk to. Yes, I have my friends and I have my family, and I did talk to them about what I was going through, and they did know the things that were happening. It's not that no one knew about it, they did, but the thing with friends and family is that they can have like the best of intentions of helping you, but if they don't have, the knowledge or the words, they don't know how to guide you. I mean, you're the same place, you know what I mean? So when my friend recommended me her therapist, because I knew that she trusted her, I felt like I could trust her too, so this really gave me like the option to talk and to open up about my feelings. And it was hard. I won't say that it was the easiest thing, because it was not. Talking about your feelings, opening up is really, it's so uncomfortable, to be honest, but at the same time it's the most important and empowering thing that we can do, and more so when we do it with someone that we know that can help us. So yeah, that's the first thing that I will recommend to anyone. Number two, and I think that this is my favorite part, is learning about yourself over and over again. Finding every single detail that you can about you. Because self-discovery isn't a one-time thing. It's a lifelong journey. You change all the time. You're not the same person that you were 5 years ago, 2 years ago, not even 6 months ago. I know it. I can feel it because I've been doing so much work to improve professionally and personally that there are many things that I know now that I didn't know 6 months ago. And the most beautiful part of this journey, I will say, is that when you learn more about yourself, you also learn what are your values, what are the things that you actually need. And in that process, you stop expecting other people to fill the gaps in you. You are not expecting anyone to complete you because you already know how to complete yourself. And I love that. I really do. And number three, allow yourself to be imperfect. Something that I really hope everyone knows is that growth isn't linear. It's not something that you know that each step is perfect and everything happens in the same sequence at the same time. No, it doesn't. That's not reality. And we are not here to be flawless. We're not here to have a picture perfect life. That's not how it works. We are here to learn. So remember that you don't need to be perfect to be loved and to be worthy of all the beautiful, wonderful things that life and God have for you. So as I wrap up, I really hope that you know that life it's not a game that you can reset and start over. We really have just one shot at this. But it doesn't mean that we have to rush things. It doesn't mean that we have to do all of these things now and later we're going to enjoy our life. No, you can enjoy your life now, coming as you are, but we have to make it count. Each day that we pass with our friends, with our families, or by ourselves, those days are worthy of being lived and loved as well. So if you're listening to this and you feel stuck and don't know what to do, I really hope that you remember this. You don't need to have everything figured out, everything planned out before you even start your journey. You really just need to make the decision and start acting towards achieving the goal, taking the first step, however small it is, just taking that first step. Because every bit of progress that we do, every step that we take counts. And every time you choose to show up for yourself, matters way more than you think. So, with that, thank you so much for spending this time with me today, for being willing to listen to my story and also to reflect on where you are right now and where you want to go and what it might look like to start your own personal development journey. Because I know that it is not easy, and I know that just watching a video is not going to change things at all. I know. But I just wanted to know that you can do it. You're not alone. And as long as you stay honest and patient with yourself during this journey, I know that it's going to be so much worth of your time and all of the effort that you're putting. The fact that you're here right now listening to this tells me that you are ready to start your own journey. So I really hope that you follow your heart and start doing that. Please remember that if this reflection inspired you or help you reflect somehow, you can share with a friend, you can post it to your stories, however you choose to share this. I'm really grateful. And until next time, please take care of your mind, please take care of your body, please take care of your heart. Bye.